Walk me through your call, 75% probability, stock goes to zero.
Yeah. So basically, you have two competing issues out there. You have the bondholder plan, which in most scenarios will wipe out the equity to zero because they're issuing themselves and the victims about 99.99% of the company. The other plan is PG&E's plan. And PG&E's plan says we want to pay $18.9 billion to the victims and all the insurance claims. So in that PG&E plan, you can have about a $20 to $25 stock price in the end. So now really have two competing plans, right? You have PG&E's plan, the bondholder plan, which goes to zero, PG&E's plan, which goes to 20 to 25. But because the judge has terminated exclusivity, the probability that you end up with the bondholder plan is much higher in our view. So that is the 75% probability of a zero, and the 25% probability is if you actually have PG&E's plan succeed, which you will get to $20 to $25.
How do political concerns play into this? I know you have California's Governor Gavin Newsom out today blaming those blackouts on PG&E's greed. How does that impact how that money ultimately gets distributed?
Yeah, I know politics has been a huge challenge in this whole process for some time, right? They've tried to get these recovery bonds earlier in the process, but they weren't able to get them, again, because of political concern and uncertainty. And even now, you actually have one of these processes where you actually might end up with a claim estimation process, which means that you go to a bankruptcy court or you go to a jury to get a trial and figure out what does PG&E owe to the victims. And that amount, because you're going to a San Francisco jury at a time when there are blackouts, it is actually going to make it even more challenging for PG&E to make the case that these are the facts and stick to the facts. So unfortunately, the politics and all the other issues around PG&E make the situation even more challenging for PG&E.
Well, and not to mention that, say we fast forward and they wind up getting out of bankruptcy, right? How much money are they going to have to wind up spending to either, I don't know, change their grid, make investments on equipment? Like, they still have to run a business, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it is a utility. So if they actually do get out of bankruptcy and whoever ends up controlling it, whether it is Elliott or the bondholder plan controlling it, or it is the shareholders in PG&E controlling it, so whoever ends up owning it, you will have the ability to invest because in the end, the customers pay for the investment. That is how every utility works in the US. So you will be able to invest in the grid because the CPUC, which is the California Public Utilities Commission, will authorize the spend because they need to invest in the infrastructure. So in the end, everybody knows that the future going concern is actually quite good. So really the fight right now is who can get control between now and the exit of bankruptcy, because once you get control, then you have all that opportunity to invest and grow. So really, because of going into bankruptcy, you've opened up yourself to this competing plan, which you wouldn't have had the opportunity to do if you didn't go into bankruptcy in the first place.